These habitats that occur on the opposite sides of the mountain from where the wind's blowing, blasting away the snow in the wintertime are often called snowfields or snow meadows, because snow tends to last here a long time because it's been piled up deep in the wintertime. And believe it or not, that's challenging, but it's also providing a protective blanket that insulates these plants. And so in the wintertime, it might be 35 below zero over there where it's exposed to the westerly storms. And over here on the eastern side, it's going to be just a little below 32, down beneath all that snow at soil level. So the snow buttercup, this cheery little buttercup, takes advantage of that. We find one of our richest communities here where we have some protection from the grueling winds and desiccation and cold in the wintertime. And it's not just buttercups, there's mountain dryads, there's primroses. It's just an incredibly diverse habitat on this side and very different from the little tiny cushion plants that we find over on the other side of the hill. The interesting thing about this buttercup is when you see it coming up through the snow, what you see typically is a hole develop right around the buttercup, and the buttercup popping right up through the snow, already with a fully formed flower just waiting to burst forth, because quick response is important. If you're growing under snow that might last into June or even July in some cases, you have to do everything you're going to do in just a few days before the snow starts falling again. And why is the snow melting around the buttercup? Well, as the light shines through the snow, it hits the buttercup itself that's pushing up through in response to the light and solar radiation. The buttercup plant is darker than the snow, so it starts to hold in heat and melt the snow around it. And add to that, it's itself generating a little bit of heat too, because as it's growing, it's also respiring. Matter of fact, we can take a temperature of the snow, which right now, around 25 degrees, and then when we take the temperature of the plant, we find out that it's 45 degrees, considerably above freezing. Quick responses, that's a major benefit to these plants that grow here in snowfields. Well, the snow itself adds a lot of the moisture to the system, but it's actually adding a lot of nitrogen too. And one of the biggest changes that we're seeing in not just the terrestrial, but also the aquatic communities here, have to do with the nitrogen that's being deposited in this snow and excess nitrogen that comes from our activities.